I so fair warning. I have 15 cards here, but like some of these cards have multiple questions on them. So I
Okay.
hope you're excited to go through this.
I'm so
Is
excited.
it like a therapist where like what does this remind you of? I don't know. You know the
Um,
What?
pictures, the
no,
black, the
I
black
tried to
ink.
no, I really tried to make it fun and lighthearted with some sprinkle of some questions. But I'm nobody's therapist. Do I like to ask therapy questions? Yes. That's not what this podcast is
Yeah.
about. This is the No Dick Pics, the No
Look
Dick
at
Pics
you!
podcast. Okay?
I think we're just gonna do one solid. You know how we usually have segments? I think we're just gonna do one solid thing because
Okay.
you're a special
You
co-host.
like a solid thing, huh?
I say,
One solid thing.
One.
this
Okay.
guy. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start, and then we'll just gonna do this whole podcast at like in one sitting. So
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
cheers,
Mhm.
cheers, oh cheers me, cheers, yeah,
Clink.
cheers.
Yay, cheers, everybody.
All right. Welcome to the No Dick Pics podcast. I'm Christina,
Max.
and we have a very special guest host. Tia's back.
Yay.
Hi, everybody. Yes.
Oh, hang on, I have to clap.
Thank you. Thank you. I need walk-up music too. Should edit some music in
Right?
there.
What would your walk-up music be? Do you have a
Oh
song?
my goodness. Oh, ooh, the energy. Okay, so I'm gonna throw just a little pass because I know a little bit about wrestling. I used to watch it a lot when I was like in middle school. So I'm thinking of like a good wrestling intro music
That's what
type
he's thinking too.
thing there. So
Yeah.
that's for you, Max. Okay, this is WWE Raw on a Friday night. So my walkthrough music, godly, I'm a music person. I let me think about this for a second. I'm probably going to go Waka Flocka No Hands. That's my hype. I'm always getting hyped to that song. So that's gonna be my walk.
Yeah.
When people ask me that, it's tough. I don't know what I could do.
What do you think yours would be?
I know there's so many to choose from, but I
So like
literally have to choose.
wrestling theme probably would be like God, I might go old school. I don't know. Like even though like people don't like Limp Bizkit, like some of Limp Bizkit's like a couple of the songs like they just get me going, like
You
break
got some
stuff,
bops, yeah.
you know. Like if I'm in a really bad mood and I want to come into work, and they play, break stuff, break your fucking face tonight, that gets me going. So
Right?
yeah, I don't know. It depends, but
Right.
old like a lot of hip hop too, old school Ti or even
Oh,
some
come
Run
on,
DMC,
Ti.
What do you think mine would be? Without even saying anything, what either of you, what do you think mine would be?
Something Christina Aguilera. You know what I immediately thought? Dirty.
That would be my walk-up song for wrestling for sure.
I
You do
thought
like
dirty,
the Titanic song.
The Titanic song.
Because if you like your hair
My
oh,
hair
flowing,
I saw
flowing.
yeah.
Britney. No, I see
No, there'd be
Britney.
some Britney for sure.
It's
Yeah.
Britney,
I'm
bitch.
thinking,
Yeah.
yeah, some Give Me More. Just the entrance
Oh,
though, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
you would have like a
Yeah,
montage, just like a little bit of, and just for funsies,
I would.
sprinkle in some Mandy Moore in there, just for fun,
Oh
just
yeah,
because we
totally.
all know some
Some
Mandy Moore.
candy. So my dream in life, at some point in my life, I want to rise out of a floor with a giant C behind me. And I don't know what it's for. I don't know what kind of performance it is, but that is my dream. I just want to rise
You
out of
know
a
when you can
floor.
do it for one of your big birthdays, 50,
That
55,
my entrance
one of your
rising out of
birthdays.
a floor.
I mean that
Giant lit up
you,
behind me.
I
She has
see it
risen.
and I need it. I
Yeah,
need it. Like I'm going to be
yeah.
your biggest hype person when this happens.
Bringing
So
sex
prepare yourself.
back. What? What? Right? Little Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we can't sing Justin Timberlake anymore. We know what he did to Britney.
Not alongside Brittany.
Talk about how he keeps acting like NSYNC did him a favor, and he's on this. I'm by myself. I mean, I guess I did something with these hoes over here. What you
They might
mean?
be getting back together.
Okay,
They're a
yeah,
top
but
reunion.
yes, they're hinting at it, but still, Justin still acts like he didn't start with them. He always wants to sing
Right.
Mirrors for 82 minutes and then give
No,
NSYNC 7 seconds.
no one needs
Absolutely
that.
not. No, I'm like, I
The
honestly, I said,
passion.
because I was always Team NSYNC, and I am now like, am
Yeah.
I a Backstreet Boy girl now? Am I
No.
a Backstreet Boy?
You can
98
sit in
degrees. Don't forget about 98.
98
Okay,
degrees is
you
great.
Stacy can go on because that's what Stacy's talking about. 90. Don't nobody care about Nick
Nick
Lachey.
Lachey,
Uno
come
noche.
on.
All right, give me just one night. Una noche. Don't nobody care.
Yeah.
No,
No,
but I
I'm
will
still an
say
instinct girl.
I will
Always.
always be an instinct girl because
They can all take a
I
back seat to Boys to Men. That's my
This
group.
is true.
I mean, Boys to Men. Then you can also put New Edition in there, and then New Kids on the Block. We know where everybody comes from.
Yeah.
But I'm very
But in
proud
that
that
era,
in that
it's
era, it
instinct.
was always Team NSYNC. It
Yes,
was. It
that
was
is the
Team
correct answer.
NSYNC.
Nah.
Always and forever.
He's team
I mean,
98 degrees.
I
No, I'm Team
I
Boys to
spent
Men. I'll
13
take Boys to Men
hours
to the
in a
grave.
line for them. So,
I mean,
oh, I
same.
went to
If they do this tour, I will sell my firstborn. I'm sorry, Tara.
just listen. You had a good run, okay?
Run. I'm gonna go see NSYNC.
Like you had a good run. Listen,
Yeah.
I shout out to moms. You do what you have to do because I would too sell my firstborn. You
Mhm.
messed up my insides for the first time, so girl, you got to go.
So
Okay.
I'll just explain what we're doing here. So we're doing something a little bit different this time. We have Tia joining us as a co-host because this week, instead of having a special guest that we talk about stories or whatever, Tia's gonna interview us because there's a lot of stuff that we haven't talked about, especially about like who we are and like all that. So
What we do.
what we do.
What we do. Yes, I am super excited for this. I came prepared, but I also can fly off
Oh yeah.
the
It
reins
will. It
too.
goes off the
So
rails very easily
you,
here. So
I already have permission to ask anything and everything. So if anything
yes,
comes off of the
because I
top of
can
the
edit
dome,
it.
because you can edit.
Yeah.
You run this
No
show.
self limit. Let it go. Let it rip.
Yeah.
Like P. Diddy
So,
said, anything goes. Knows it.
oh, not P.
Mhm.
Diddy.
Oh,
No, let's
Mhm.
oh,
no,
Max.
no, not him either.
Cutting this
No.
part out too.
Just
Someone made a
please.
P. Diddy comment the other day. I'm like, yeah, he's really falling off.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, falling
Um,
off, gone out. It's so bad.
all bad things. Yeah.
Is he still hiding
It's,
away in an island somewhere? Or...
I
I don't
mean, it's
I
know.
probably
think.
for the best.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what his buddy is doing. A couple other people are doing. They're just leaving the country so they don't have to deal with what they have to deal with. But we're not here to talk about that.
No. So we loved you so much on your episode, and you did a little section where you were like interviewing us. So I'm like, you know
Yes.
what? You know who's gonna come back and do this? It's gonna be Tia, because there is no one better to do this than you.
Okay, so we were during the first time I was on the show, me be me, asking all of the questions. You guys were answering questions because I had asked you both about, are you guys dating anybody? How's that been? Things about future, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so you guys were telling, me about that you guys are dating other people. But then after we had recorded and we were done, dun dun dun, you text me and said something along the line.
Well, I kind of said the person I'm dating is Max. It's the
And
world's worst kept secret.
gagged. Wait, why is it a worst kept secret? Because
I
if
think
had
at
you
your
not have told
point,
me, had you
I
not have
think at
told me,
your
I
point
wouldn't have.
we had done a good job of like of dancing around it. I feel like if you listen to every episode, there's a point in like every episode where it's kind of obvious.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm
I
pretty
don't
good
know.
at editing.
I was like, okay, so I've listened to a few, and I mean, I know, but if I hadn't known, I wouldn't have known that you guys are dated.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
we're just
then
really good.
what made, if you're rethinking that, what at what point do you think, or what are the little Easter eggs that you guys gave with you guys are dating each other?
I think there's. I don't know if it's a first episode or a second episode. I know I included it into the promo where I talk about like I like a tall guy with a beard. I kind of point this
Mhm.
way. Um, there's
Oh, I don't see the point. Okay, because
yeah,
if you're just listening and you don't see any promos,
hmm
okay, now I'm gonna have to go back and look at that Easter
yeah,
egg. Okay.
and then there's a clip in one of them. I think it's the second one where I'm saying I can't like read a certain card because it says like what do you want to do to me. This is not. I never include the video for this because the video is I think pretty obvious because this guy starts like grinning. The question is, what do you want to do to me? And he just looks down and starts smiling. So like when you're
Oh,
just
so
listening, you can't tell, but like when you're looking at the video, you're like, oh yeah, yeah. There's
there's
I think my ultimate
definitely,
goal was to start this podcast is to kind of feel everything out because we don't want to, I don't think you tell people up front, oh, we're dating, and you kind of get the feel of people and you feel, oh, they're really trying, because I feel like if you come out and you're a couple, I don't know, I've noticed on like Instagram and other platforms, like when they're dating, there's, it's just different. I feel like people can come to this podcast because hey, there's two single people, and my whole goal was she's in a different, she's just recently divorced. I've been divorced for 4 years, so it's like different parts of your life that people can like, kind of relate to. People can relate to any in between or past that. So that was kind of one of my main things. I didn't want to make it about us. I wanted to make it
yeah,
about just navigating through this fun house of a life
fun
we call
house.
dating.
right, right. Okay, so the podcast was your idea. Was this
I
your
thought of it
idea?
like right when I got like separated and divorced. I was like, man, I should do a podcast, but I never like did it until I would tell friends about it, and we would come up with like names and stuff. But I never
Mhm.
really like put actually effort into it. And then when we met, and she was like, "Oh, we're gonna do this podcast," like, yeah, whatever. Everyone always says that, but she was serious. She got the ball rolling.
Oh, I don't fuck around. I say if I say something, I mean it.
I can see that.
So yeah,
Absolutely. Say what you mean what you say.
I mean, she does everything about this podcast. I just show up and talk.
he's
That's
just the
that's it. I'm the talent.
he's the talent.
So she does everything behind the
I'm the
scenes,
talent too.
editing. She does all the
You
social
are the
media stuff.
talent.
I'm just like, yeah.
And who's the funny one? It's me. Hi.
Mm.
I'm the problem. It's me. We don't have to pay for that, do we? No.
No, no, not at all. Okay, so you were saying that you had this idea for this podcast and you didn't want it to be about, the both of you guys. So then why tell people? So what brings you to letting everybody know now instead of just going with, we're just out
Honestly,
here.
I'm getting tired of editing around it because there's so many times where we slip up, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta edit that. I gotta edit this, and so
Well, I don't. Yeah, people close to me know, but I mean, as she's very social media savvy. She's like, we got to do a hard launch. I'm like, the fuck's a hard launch? What is this? What are we opening the store? No, no, our relationship. I was like, what? Because there's soft launches and hard
mhm,
launches. That's how I know I'm old. Because I'm like, what?
he
I don't,
doesn't know
what
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 I'm
is this
talking.
shit? Like, do we have a ribbon with like a giant pair of scissors? And
I
We
mean,
should.
I am
No,
curious
this
as to
episode is
what
our
is a
hard launch.
hard and soft launch of a relationship.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll explain. So a soft launch is like if you're watching someone's stories and you see that they're out to dinner with someone, but they don't show the person. Like
Oh.
I've done a boomerang of us cheersing, but you can't see it who he is. You can just see that it's a guy's hand.
Hmm.
And so you're like, ooh, wait. She's seeing someone, but who is it? We don't know. So there's been like that's a soft launch. a hard launch is when you're just like, this is who I'm dating. We're in a relationship. Hi world, we're together. And so this is our hard launch, and a lot of people just do it with like changing their Facebook status and stuff. But I figured, why not do a podcast about it? That's so on brand.
You guys are
I
already
haven't
doing it together.
Facebook in 10 years. Yeah.
You haven't done what to Facebook in 10 years?
I haven't like changed my stat. Well, no, okay. After I got divorced, I changed the status to single, so it wouldn't keep reminding me that I have an anniversary coming up or something.
It's about to change again, my friend. Yeah.
I'm more Instagram.
The answer is
Are
yes.
you going to be Instagram official?
Oh, I don't know. What do you do with that? Just put it in your. I don't know. I'm not 12. Put Max in my bio.
No, I wouldn't say like put it in your bio, but like put in a post in a picture that's like permanent, not like a story. Yeah. Could be like Instagram official.
I'll do that.
I'm so like not with this stuff, so like I'm gonna let her handle it. I mean, the only reason I'm on Facebook is like friends and family members, and because everyone's like Facebook is for older people. I'm like, yep. My aunt and my mom argue all the time on Facebook. I'm like, what? I found out like this is how messed up this is. All right. So my mom's sister is in Washington. I found out she made me in her will that I get to take over the house when she dies. She didn't text me. She didn't call me. She put it on Facebook, and then my mom's like, "Your Aunt Candy your Aunt Candy's leaving you her house." I'm like, how do you know this? She's like, she posted on Facebook. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how crazy is that? Shout out to Aunt Candy. Thank you for the.
Does your Aunt Candy listen to our podcast?
Probably not.
I don't know. I've said I don't. Anyone can listen to this. I don't care. I don't suggest that family members do. They're probably going to learn things about us that they don't want to know.
I don't think I've said anything that it's like off key. I don't know.
I told my dad not to listen. I'm like, don't do it. You don't want to hear what I'm saying.
I mean, I have some questions that I'm sure your father would prefer he never even knew that these questions existed for one to answer.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. Continue.
Okay, so now that the cat is out the bag, tell us, how did you guys meet? Who made the first move?
Oh, okay. Who made the first move? Well,
I think I made the first move, right?
Of course you did.
Chase,
I attract.
So it's kind of a funny story because I'm usually every now and then I'll do Bumble, but I'm like on Hinge for the free stuff, right? And I was just like one night I was just like, I don't know, I was bored. I was like, oh, I'll give Match a shot. Like I'll do the week trial that you get. And as soon as like I got on Match, that's when I met her. And it was kind of crazy because it kind of happened so quickly. And we were just talking and like I remember she's like, yeah, I just broke up with my boyfriend. I'm like, oh geez. I usually they won't respond. They won't give you like details about it. And she kept going and going. I was like, ooh, wow. And then finally we just like, hey, you want to talk on the phone? Sure. Then we exchange each other's number, and next thing you know, and I kid you not, this is not an exaggeration, 7 hours later.
7.5.
7.5 hours later.
Okay.
We hung up with each other.
Yeah. So my side of that is I had just gotten dumped by Christmas Guy. And so if you don't know the Christmas Guy story, it's at the end of the clip show. And that is like one of our lowest watch shows because I think people were like, oh, I've listened to this. There's new segments at the end. So the story about the Christmas Guy is in that episode. So if you want to hear it, go back and listen to it there. I had just gotten dumped, and it had happened the day before. It was a Friday, and I'm like, I'm fucking done. I'm not dating anymore. I'm over this. Like 12 hours later, I'm like, just kidding. So I like call up my waiting list. I jump back on apps, and I go on a Match, and I have like, I'm very like methodical in how I match with people. I swipe left on like 99% of people.
Okay, is left good or bad?
Left is like, you're out of here, trash.
Okay.
And so I am very, very picky. I also like don't respond to messages right away because like I don't want to be too available. Like I'm not cool in any way, shape, or form. I'm like the neediest, clingiest person in the world. But when you first meet me, I'm cool as fuck. So like I have a whole
So is
like
that what I'm looking forward to? Is it?
you've seen the real me. But-
Ah, first of all, you are cool, so stop saying that. You are cool.
oh,
Okay.
thanks. No, I mean cool as in like not
Hey, the fun. I'm
yeah
cool.
like I'm laid back. I'm not. So typically I wait a little bit of time before I message someone back. I was in such a like headspace. Like I compared it to like when you're watching a TV show and they're in a car and they get like T-boned and it shocks you. You're like, "Oh my god." Like that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the breakup felt like. It was like I was sideswiped. Like it
Wow.
shocked the fuck out of me. And so I was so upset and so like at that point mad. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'll talk to anyone. Not anyone. You're special. But
Hi, I'm anyone.
no, I was still picky about who I picked. But typically I wouldn't respond that quickly and I would not have given out my number that quickly. I almost never give out my number like in the first day. Like that's not a thing I typically do, but I'm just like
First
whatever.
hour.
Yeah, I'm like let's fucking do it. I don't care. Like here, let's talk. And then it was 7.5 hours. So like I said, I had called up my like waiting list, and I had a phone date that night, and we started talking in like the afternoon or evening.
Evening.
I don't
Yeah, it was
remember.
evening.
Like early evening. This guy calls me at like 11 o'clock because he called me after work, and I'm still on the phone with him, so I didn't answer. So I texted him. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone. I can't talk. And because I was like, I don't want to hang up with him. And we had been talking for like 5 hours at that point already. And I'm like, I'm not ready to hang up.
What?
I'm going to blow off. It was Greg the Ghost. I'm going to blow off Greg the Ghost. Because like, fucking ghost, And so I'm like, I'm not going to stop talking to this guy to talk to someone who has ghosted me before. So.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Okay, so what were you guys talking about for 5 hours?
7.5.
We
7 hours.
Sometimes I don't know. Like we just started like one thing to the other, and
Like everything.
yeah.
So you
There's a
guys
lot
hit
of
it off
what?
right away. You guys hit it off right away.
Yes. It was like an instant like connection.
Yeah, and then I was like, I want to see you. She's like, well, I'm gonna be like kind of near your area. I don't know if you want to tell the story. And then
It's a good
Mm-hmm.
story. So we're on the phone. It's like 3 a.m. We're still talking. I'm like, man, I gotta go. I have a date in the morning. Like I had called up my wait list, and so I had a breakfast date the next morning. I'm like, it is 3 a.m. Tia's
I gotta
face
get
is
some sleep.
and
Sorry.
so I was like, I have a breakfast date, and he's like, where's it at? And I'm like, oh, we're meeting halfway. It's gonna be like in Schaumburg or something. And he's like, yeah, it's like 10 minutes from me. I'm like, huh, okay. So you're like, why don't you let me know when you're done? And maybe we can get together.
So you were like, go on your little date, and then just let me know when you're done.
Yeah. And so the thing was, it was a really
Game.
good date. It was a great date. Like, this guy he's actually coming on next week. I don't know if I told you. He's our guest next week.
The drama, I love it.
He's a phenomenal guy. Like if I had not met him, it would have been great. But it was awesome. Like we had a great time. We talked for like 3 hours. I kept wanting to check this is the problem. I kept wanting to check my phone. I put my phone away on a first date because like I don't want to be rude. But I'm like, I feel like we've been here for 7 years. Like I want to check and see. I wanted to see if he had texted me. And so the whole time I'm a little bit distracted, like, I wonder what Max is doing. And like, you don't want to, that's not where your mind should be on a date,
Right.
So, wrap that date up. As soon as I get in the car, I text him. I'm like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we figure out where to go to meet up like 15 minutes later. We're
Okay,
at
where'd
a
you guys go?
Granite City in
Yeah.
Schaumburg.
Yeah.
And as soon as you text, he was like, okay, and then within
Like
15,
15
20 minutes,
minutes.
you guys
Yeah.
were seeing each other.
Mm-hmm.
I live.
Yeah. It was really cute. I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be like, I've been waiting for 3 hours.
I was doing a lot of
I
laundry and
live.
football, so
Oh, that's
Ah,
the thing. Okay. I didn't know, like I probably did. I don't remember. We talked a lot, but I didn't realize how big of a sports guy he is. It was a Sunday and it was the
yeah,
last like what, regular season games?
yeah.
And you were with me. Tia.
oh, I'm still here. Keep going. I'm here.
So
I'm here.
we we're having this, like, I don't even know, it was like a weird time of day, but like this early dinner, and he's paying attention to me and talking to me and like very like into the conversation, and there's football all around us and he's like paying attention to me. It was really cute.
Which is a first. That'd have been like, hey, look, yeah.
I
So yeah, I
mean,
felt pretty special, and I don't think I realized that until like I found out what a sports guy he is, because I was like, wait, you're missing games. Like there are big games on the TV right now, and he's like, I don't care.
and his attention was on who? You. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign.
I can.
Oh, okay, so I want to know what was your guys' first impressions of each other?
I'll let you go first.
I mean, obviously, spending so much time on the phone, obviously there was, to me, instant connection. I don't know. I liked. There's something about her. It seemed super easy. I didn't have to try, and that's very
Hmm.
like I don't have to put a lot of effort into it. That's a win for me. But I mean, you still have to meet them. So I have this whole theory, like when you meet someone, there's either a connection or there's not. I've heard people like, oh,
Facts.
it's taking a couple dates. When I meet someone, I know like, hey, there's a connection. We have a possibility of something happening, or hell no, I'm gonna finish my lunch and I'm gonna get the hell out of here. So the first
Right.
connection was good. Like I felt something, like it was good, and it was just easy, and it's like we continued the conversation. And the fact that I didn't look up at the TV for football should have been like a huge sign. Like holy
Number
shit! Like
one.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what game it is. It could be a Division 3 freaking college football game. I will like, it could be hockey, it could be pickleball, but I didn't give a shit. I was
Not
like, I was
pickleball.
kind of into her. So I guess my first impression was it was easy. I liked her. I liked her personality,
Hmm.
and then when you see them up close, you're just like, ooh, wow, yeah. So
And
Ooh,
then you're
wow.
like, yes,
the whole
please.
time we're eating, I'm just like, I told her this later. I was like, I just wanted to come across that booth and kiss you. Like I was just like, yeah.
Mm. Okay, that's adorable.
Okay, so like just meeting over the phone and stuff, I was like, he's funny, which is like a must for me, and we had a lot in common, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like we're both only children. Our birthdays are only 2 days apart. 3 days, 2 days,
Oh,
Three.
2 days.
stop it.
Yeah.
You're the
Um,
12th or the 13th.
am I
I
the
thought
12th or the 13th?
I thought you were
Wait,
the
so you guys are
12th.
the same sign?
13th.
13th.
Yeah. And it works. Like that doesn't work for all signs, but it works for us.
No, it doesn't. What are your guys' signs?
Cancer.
The crab.
Mm.
So it works. Cancer is a good match. So, yeah. But then, like, we go to this restaurant and he parked, like, behind me and he gets out and starts walking towards me. And I'm like, oh my God, wait. This guy is cute. Like, he's, he
You
did
two
that.
are
And I was
like,
done.
yes,
I was
Yeah.
please.
done. No, he starts walking towards me and I'm like,
Should have a switchblade comb.
he, I will say, like, you're cute in your pictures. You're way cuter in person. And so he's walking up, I'm like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise, you know? And he was actually tall Because there's a lot, there's a lot of guys who say, yeah, I'm 6 foot, and they're like 5'9". So
Oh no.
yeah.
I'm 6'1". But I never consider myself tall.
Hmm.
I was always in the middle of the. I was a shorter kid, and I had a growth spurt like at the end of high school. But I was always in the middle. So I had friends that were like 6'4", and then I was 6'1", so I was always in the middle. So I never considered myself tall, but I guess I am.
Yeah.
How did you
No.
not? Anything over 6 foot is tall.
And it's the height. He had the beard. Oh, I was just like, okay, cool.
You were like, yes, yes, yes.
Right. Yeah. And I'll be honest, like, I don't think I've ever been as attracted to another person as I am to him.
I'm glad you said that because I have a segue question.
Do you?
How different are each of you from your exes?
Like, how
Big
different am I
difference.
from his ex?
Yeah, just physically. Let's just talk physical. Like
My
just
therapist
like
says
height,
I
like
date complete opposite from what my ex was.
yeah. Typically you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I know.
Yeah, and so you're not. I mean, I like apparently Italian white guys, but he is obviously very different in other ways.
Y-
So,
Yes,
hmm,
very much so. Very much so.
yeah.
Just because sometimes people do, I don't know if you guys have experienced this with your exes, like they will date somebody that typically looks like
Did I ever send you a picture of 8 Day?
no.
Okay, I'm gonna do that after this podcast. So my
Yeah.
dad literally laughed out loud at me because he doesn't actually look like him in person, but his like professional headshot, because the first guy I dated, the 8 Day guy, he was also an author, so he had like a professional headshot. He looked a
Mm,
lot like my ex-husband in that
mm.
headshot. In person, not at all. But like in that headshot, I'm like, oh, I almost swiped left on him because he reminded me of him. I'm like, oh no, this is
Like,
too similar.
oh,
Yeah. But
right.
then I looked at his other pictures. I'm like, no, he doesn't look like him. But I showed my
You're
dad
like,
his picture. He goes, oh, you have a type.
I was gonna say we have a type, but we don't want a type.
No, no. So I will send you his picture and you can let me know if you laugh out loud like everyone else has.
We will. We will. Okay. Okay, so getting back to these questions. Okay, so we all know that you guys are dating and whatnot. Tell me what was us, the listeners, what was your guys' intent for dating when you guys met each other? Like, were you guys just dating for fun, dating for long term, fuck
Oh, the
buddies?
labels.
I hate labels. I don't know.
Love them.
I date to see where it's gonna go. Like you get a feel.
Okay.
So one of my things that I always tell people is like I don't make it past 3 months. I mean, every relationship I've been in, right around 3 months, it just crumbles. And this one hasn't. But I don't think I date for intention. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
date to see to find out about the person and kind of see where it goes. And the funny thing is, like I talked about, is I usually don't date during the school year because I'm so busy and I just don't have the time. And this is the first time I've dated because normally I start dating, like I date from June to like September. And I kid you not, like I've been in relationships and as soon as school starts, boom, we break up. Like not because of that, just because things happen or something. So this is the first time I've actually dated someone during a school year that's kind of like lasted more than a couple months. So I guess I just going into it, I just wanted to see her and find out more about her and see what happens. I kind of do like I take myself like a day at a time, day at a
Yeah.
time, day at a time. So
I'm getting no, I'm not good at that. But like for me, it was in general my intention to date was for a long-term relationship because like that's just most girls are like that. But in that instance, I was just looking for some attention, honestly, because I was so sure the guy who broke up with me was going to come back right away and be like, I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. And we were going to get back together. And so I'm like, I'm just looking
Okay.
for attention. And I didn't expect what the connection that we had, I haven't had with anyone
Hmm.
like that quickly. And so I was like, that took me by surprise. And I'm like, whoa, wait, this is actually a thing. And I'm like, I was like, how do I process that? Because I wasn't like what I was out there. I was just sad. I just wanted people to make me feel better. So
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. And then the funny thing is, about 4 days later, he did come back and he did text me, and he
Mm.
didn't he didn't say he wanted to get back to me with me because at that point he knew I was seeing other people, and he's a super respectful guy. So if he knows that I'm seeing someone else or like there could be someone else, he's not going to be like, you should break up with him and come back and be with me. He would never ever do that. But he did say
Mhm.
eventually, like, I made a mistake. I'm like, yeah, you did. Too late. I found this one.
Ching. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Right? I love how the universe works though, because you get somebody that just comes in your life and just shows you what you deserve, and
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
they mess up, and somebody who comes around and automatically shows you what you deserve, and it's just like,
Yeah.
so
And
snooze,
that's
you
the thing.
lose.
Yeah, like I was, and it wasn't a long relationship, but it was like we had been dating, we had been talking for like a month or whatever. So there was like lead up to it, and then like we were together for like three 3 weeks, and it was like out of nowhere. It was very like a sudden thing. He got super sick, and then like got super distant. Yeah, there's a whole thing with that too, and then just like broke up with me, and it was it's like his brain broke when he got sick. And so like I was like heartbroken, but like if I hadn't gone through that and felt that and learned the lessons I learned with him because we moved way too fast. But if I hadn't learned those lessons and been through that, I wouldn't have met him. Like if I
Yeah.
hadn't experienced that, I wouldn't have jumped on Match that day. And 5 minutes later,
Yeah.
yeah,
Boom, by surprise comes Max.
yeah,
Is Max short for something? Or is it Max?
Maximilian.
mm-hmm.
Maximilian. Okay, that's what I thought. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love it. Maximilian. Mhm. Okay, so were there any red flags, orange flags, yellow flags when you guys met each other?
That's a good question.
My red flag was she was still married
Okay,
because I know how I was at that point. So I was kind of like, I don't know. I'll see how it goes. But
for
the
sure.
thing was, I realized she kind of had her shit together, even though she was still
It's
married.
hilarious because I don't.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Joke's
mean, it
on
was.
you,
I still,
Maximilian.
yeah, and I think it was a red flag. I mean, and we kept seeing each other, and like, I kept hearing like, oh yeah, we're close, and like it was never close, but it eventually got done. But I guess that was my only red flag. I mean, but sometimes I have trouble seeing red flags, so that's
Same. So I don't know, like, and I feel like that's something that we talked about because we've been like, because we started off with a 7.5 hour conversation, I think we've been really good at communicating in general. And it's always been a thing for us that we're going to communicate. And even when we were talking about the podcast, we were like, we talked about it on that 7.5 hour call. Is the first time we talked about it. And we were like, if this doesn't work out, it's great content. I don't know if that would be the case today.
I
I mean,
mean,
we'll see.
yes.
Yeah, but we talk a lot and we communicate. Like he's told me, he's like, if I'm not doing something or there's something up, just tell me. Like I just need to know. And there was a point early on where I couldn't tell if he liked me or if we were just friends because sometimes the way he said things, I'm like, are we just like bros? Like what's happening here? And so I told him, he's like, oh no 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 no.
bros.
I don't know.
I mean, valid question.
Yeah.
So, so you're saying communication is important?
Yeah, like he's not like he talks about it like in a lot of the episodes where he's like, "Well, just talk about it." And so that's what we do. And so there's times where like I have a lot of insecurities. I think the only like thing wall you've had up was really the marriage thing, and now that that's over, I don't know. You got sick, so we haven't really seen a lot of as much of each other as we
But
normally
she
do.
goes back to like, and she takes. So a perfect example is the sick thing, right? And I knew she
Hmm.
was feeling it. She's like, "Oh my god, this guy's sick and he's fading." And I even told her, and I mentioned the guy's name, and I'm not gonna say it on here. I'm like, "I'm not him." Okay,
Christmas guy.
yeah, I'm not the Christmas guy. Like, it is
There we
fine.
go.
It's like when I get sick, I'm a very like so I was an only child. So when I got sick, I was just put into my bedroom and left alone. That was my thing. So when I get
Hmm.
sick, I like to be alone. I like to sleep it off. That's how I've always been. So I told her that. I'm like, she's like, well, I want to come over. I'm like, fine, fine. If you want to come over, you can come over on Friday. But like, this is me, and don't, you know. And I told her, I'm not Christmas guy. Like, I'm not gonna break up with you when I'm sick. So just get that out of your head. And she's like,
Yeah.
she laughed it off, but I know that's what she was thinking exactly.
So, and that's the thing. Like, I think we've spent enough time, especially doing the podcast together, that he knows things about me that I don't realize he knows. And
Yeah.
so, like, that's exactly where I was. Like, he had, been a little bit distant because he was sick and he was sleeping a lot. And that's exactly where my brain went. And I had literally just texted two of my friends, like, he likes me, right? Like, I'm being crazy. Like, because it feels a lot like Christmas guy, but he's not Christmas
Yeah.
guy. And this was before he said anything. And he texted me, or call, was a call or text, I don't know what it was. He was like, I'm not him. Like, he's like, you're having flashbacks, aren't you? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I had literally just like told my friends about that. Like, I have a brand new irrational fear of getting dumped when someone gets sick, thanks to Christmas guy. So
Mm. Fuck you, Christmas guy. All
Yeah.
right. Fuck
he's
you.
actually a good dude, but like, yeah, he just doesn't know what he wants. But
Is
yeah,
he? Don't make excuses.
no, he
Is
is a
he?
good guy. He's a good guy. He just didn't know what he wanted, and it kind of broke my heart in the process a little bit. But then it's cool because this guy fixed it.
I hope he figured out who hurt him so he doesn't hurt other people because
Merry
hurt
fucking
people.
Christmas.
Merry fucking
So,
Christmas. That's right.
right? And I love Christmas, okay? I love Christmas. And like no. So, but
Yeah.
Christmas guy. Anyways, okay, so you talked about red flags. What about green flags? What are some green flags?
That's
Immediate
honestly
green flags.
like all I saw. I didn't honestly see red flags with him because I don't see them normally anyway. But I really didn't see any to begin with. So the green flags with him, he has 50% custody of his kids, which means he's a good dad. At least the state thinks so, you know? Um, he has, and he told me from the start, he's got a very healthy, open, like, honest, be able to communicate with each other relationship with his ex. And it sounds like, other girls have not liked that, but for me, I'm like, that's amazing to be able
Not
to do
only with
that.
my ex, but with our families.
Yeah.
Our families still get together. Like, it was, like, when we got divorced, we were at separate houses, but we continued a relationship. I mean, like I said, I've known her forever, and it's nothing that's ever gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's how we are. We co-parent together. You know, like, I was sick, so she took the kids for a little bit, vice versa. If she ever got COVID, and so we don't fight. I mean, we do fight about things like money and stuff, but covering for the kids. But like, we have it's just it's healthy. It's, and a lot of people don't like it. They think like, oh, and I'm like, no, we got divorced for a reason, but
Mhm.
we co-parent and stuff. So and we're there for each other. So
Green, green flag.
Yes.
Absolute green flag for me.
Huge green flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also has a house and a car and a job, so that's all good things. Because they
Like
don't all have
house
that.
car job.
Yeah.
Listen. And I'll even take it a step further. Did he have a bed on a bed frame?
A bed on a bed frame, yes. His bed is not on the floor. Because I don't know.
it's on a bed frame, but no
He
headboard.
doesn't have a headboard.
It don't matter. It's not on the floor.
No, it's not on the floor. That'd be at 47. That would be an issue. Have you, have you done that? Or you didn't have a frame? You just had your mattress on the floor?
I think at one point when I was like 18 or
Yeah.
19, but
See,
yeah.
it's like
Okay,
at
that makes sense.
47.
Okay, that makes sense. 18, 19, yes.
Yeah. At
20
47, if
something
your
and
mattress
above.
is on the floor, I'd be like, what's happening here?
I think green flags for
What
me,
is
like
happening?
it was easy. It was like I didn't have to struggle. In my past relationships, like there was always a struggle. Because my therapist would always say like I'm attracted to like toxic women and stuff. So I'm just like, all right, what's gonna happen? And I keep, okay, what's gonna happen? But nothing. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was good. And it was easy. I was able to tell her stuff, communicate. That's for me. Like I always tell people, communication's the key. I know people say it, but people don't actually do it. And it's like, yeah, I
Hmm.
want to talk to you. I want to, She's like, sometimes I might get out of hand. I might like text you a lot or send you memes. I'm like, go fucking meme away, text away. I don't care. And she's always like, I'm a lot. I'm like, no, you're not a lot. Like I enjoy that. So I think that's kind of like a healthy balance.
That's
Yeah.
also a thing. Like, I think I'm a lot. I think a lot of other people think I'm a lot. My best friend uh, told me very recently, he's like, Christina, you're a lot. You're a fucking lot. And I'm like, whatever, but he doesn't think so. And it's just like when he
Yeah.
says that, like I had seen things, and that is what like guys who have broken up with me have said. Like, you're kind of a lot. And I'm like, well, I kind of told you that going into this, but whatever. Um, and there's a
But
thing
what
where I
does
saw
that
like
mean?
I like attention, and I like to communicate, and I text a lot, and I'll send you 100 reels and TikToks and stuff. Like I don't know. I like to share what's on my mind. But
That's not a
I saw this
lot.
thing
That
that
just
said,
means you like to communicate. You like
yeah,
to talk to people. You like
right.
to.
So there's a thing I saw that said, "You're not too much. He wasn't enough."
That part.
And I saw that, and I was like, when he said that to me, he's like, "You're not too much." Like I don't see that, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like he's like the only person in my life who doesn't think I'm too much. Maybe
I
you too.
I knew it was good because
I'm
like
like, why would
when
anybody
you're
think you're a
younger,
lot?
even when you first start dating, like out of the divorce, you go out, you wine and dine, and I even tell her like sometimes on Fridays I don't wanna go out, I just want to stay in. So I remember like one Friday, I remember she was like into all the reality shows, the Love Is Blind. I remember I watched like the first season of Love Is Blind. I thought it was interesting, but it was like, all right. So I mentioned to her like, hey, Love Is Blind is on. Why don't you come over? We'll do some red wine, some sushi, and we'll just hang out. And the fact that she wanted to do that, I was like, oh hell yeah! I would rather do that than like go out to a restaurant or something. I don't mind going out every now and then, but I mean, after a long week, like I just want to relax.
Right?
Reality TV. First of all, Love Is Blind of all reality TV is great TV. Love Is Blind, wine and sushi. It's like he was like, "What would Christina's favorite possible date be? This is it."
What's the quickest way to drop them draws? The big three: sushi, reality TV, and wine. The big
Yeah,
three.
I mean, for real. It doesn't even take that much,
No,
honestly.
I think just once you get to the red wine, you're set.
Not even that.
Okay, we're gonna get to the fun questions in a little bit. Okay, you're getting
Okay.
ahead of us. Okay, we want to know when's your official date? When's your anniversary? When did you guys make it official? Is it two separate dates? Have you guys made it an official date? When's your anniversary?
I think we basically just count like when we say how long we've been dating, we go back to our first date. But
And being a guy, it's like it was early January, like the 7th or 8th.
it was the 7th.
There you go. Yeah.
Ooh, come on now.
Wow.
After 3 months, it's
Where's the
like, all right,
clapping me?
I'm done
Where's the
counting.
clapping thing?
I just remember it because it was the last Sunday of football, so it was like usually like mid-January.
Yeah, it was January 7th. So we just count that as like the date it started, but we weren't like
The next day, the
exclusive.
8th, was the big game.
Yeah. We weren't exclusive from day one. Like I was still talking to other people. I had told the guy I went out for breakfast with and he asked me out on our second date. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then I canceled on him because I was a little
Oh,
smitten. Yeah. I canceled before the date. Like I canceled it was a so I had agreed to a
this
second
started
date and
off.
he wanted to go out on like a Wednesday. And um I think by probably Monday afternoon after our date that was on a Sunday. I was like, you know what? Like, you're great. Like, anyone would be lucky to date you, but I just like, there's something with someone else that's just stronger. So I was very honest
Yeah.
with him. He was really sweet about it, and yeah, I canceled that. And then poor Gary oh, I said his real name, Greg the Ghost. I'll have to edit that.
But you know
Greg the
what?
Ghost kept trying to connect with me, and I'm like, fuck, I keep forgetting. And I said that we could try again, and so I was like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna see what happens with this guy, and so I cut it off with him too. And so it was like round like 3 of Christina's Bachelorette, and this guy won.
And
Yeah,
here you
that's
guys
set my
are.
women down too.
Yeah. Did you really? I don't know this story.
No, no, I was talking to a few people, but nothing like kind of anything concrete. So
So he was the one, which is funny now, like knowing more about him. He was the one who's like, I'm not talking to anyone else. It's just you. And I think he even said like, you don't need to do the same. But like he was like, I'm deleting the apps. I'm just gonna focus on you. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. And now knowing more about you, that's like, wow, okay. Because honestly, I had heard that from multiple guys. I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Let's see what happens, you know. But
Say we've
it
done this already.
it's hard enough dating one person. Like trying to date multiple people, I'd like that just gives me a headache.
Mm, no.
no,
Okay, did you guys delete your guys' apps at the same time?
no. He deleted his first, and then because we hadn't said we were exclusive, and so I'm like,
I deleted Match right away because I just like I don't like Match. So
this guy found her, done. But no, it took
And
me a little
instinct.
bit longer. I don't even know if I did it right away. I think I paused them and I deleted them probably like maybe a week later. I don't know.
Oh, so not too long. It's well still in the same month.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Still in the same month. Okay. Okay, so what's the sweetest thing that you guys have done for each other?
I want to know I want to know your answer before I answer.
sweetest thing.
Ooh. Dun dun dun
There's a
dun.
few. Like some of the things. So some of the sweetest stuff is she hasn't even met my kids yet, but she still gets presents for them. Like for Easter, she got them
Oh.
stuff, which was nice because then I didn't have to do any shopping that weekend. Um, but like for me, that I love is like she'll come over and like I won't be at home yet, and she's like, "Oh no, I'll just come over. I'll make you dinner. We'll just hang out." And like the fact that someone wants to come over and like make
Mhm.
dinner and have everything ready when I walk in, like that's super sweet. Like that's like I like that just that like that's huge to my heart. You know, just something like that. Just making like the effort to come. It doesn't matter. She doesn't even have to cook. Like she can just bring food or whatever. Just kind of to make that effort to do that is really
Mm.
sweet. So
So
Aw.
quality time is your communication
yeah,
language.
like
Quality time.
I tell people like I don't want to sound like a sexist, but like I love when a woman just is like I'm gonna make you dinner because that was my go-to date when I was younger because a lot of guys didn't cook, so I would cook and it would like women would be like, wait, you cook? And I'm like, yeah, yeah. So I think it's like food's right to my heart. Like, you know, you come over and you bring like a bottle of wine and you cook and like just be like, hey, we'll just hang out tonight. Like that's just like it's like, yep, I don't need anything else.
That's that whole like I don't know how to be a girlfriend. I only know how to be a wife. That's one of those things. So like I'm like yeah, I want to cook,
Yes.
and I don't get to cook as often as I used to because I don't have like the setup where I live right now to be able to just do that whenever I want. And so I was like
Yeah.
I miss cooking, and I'm like I want to cook for you, and he's like hell yeah. He's like you can
I mean,
cook for
she can
What
me.
make
did
a
you
peanut butter
cook?
jelly sandwich. I'd be happy. Peanut butter jelly and
I
a
love
bag of
it.
Doritos. Like, let's do it.
Did you say what did I cook?
Oh. Yeah, what did you make?
The first time, because I've done it a bunch of times since then, but the first time, my boss is actually a chef or a former chef. And so I'm like, you
Mm.
have to help me with this. And so I did a salmon dish. I don't remember what I did for a side.
I think it was just rice or something. Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And so
Mm.
my boss told me exactly how to cook the fish to make it like perfect. So I just followed his instructions like exactly, and it was so good. I was like, good job, Christina.
Ew.
I'll
Thank you,
keep this
boss.
one.
I'm like, I'm trying to like make this guy fall for me. What can I do?
Hello. Okay, so
Yeah.
Max, what's your favorite thing that she's made for you?
Well, there was two of them. She's made a couple of them. The chicken Florentine that you made the other day, that was good.
Ooh.
And then the one that I'm sure you'll love to hear. What's it called? The I love you chicken
No,
or
it's
something?
called the Marry Me
Marry me
Chicken.
chicken. Yeah, the marry me chicken. That was really good. I don't like. I don't. I like food, so it's like you make salmon, you make
Mm-hmm.
whatever chicken, like whatever dish. I mean, it's hard for me not to like it.
Yeah. There's a reason it's called Marry Me Chicken. I'll
I
post
was gonna
the
say,
I'll
did
post
it
a
make
link
you
to
want to put a
the
ring
recipe
on
and
it?
the stories on our Instagram for all the people trying to hook someone with some food.
I think I've only cooked like, I know Valentine's Day, she came over and then we were drinking and I was like, oh, and I just made gnocchi real quick because I just wanted to get some food in. So I think that, and I don't know if I've cooked ever. Have I cooked anything else?
We made pancakes, the protein pancakes,
There you
but we did
go.
that together.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you are the chef in the relationship, Christina.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, and I love doing it, and it just like it's
And why would I complain? Like why? Like that would be so stupid
Yes,
for me to complain.
you
like seeing his
are the chef.
face when he walks in the door is the cutest thing. It's so fucking cute. Like I can't.
Wait, I
Oh,
get home and there's gonna be dinner, cooking, wine ready to drink, and I don't have to do anything. I just like sit down and complain about my day. Yeah, sure.
You don't even complain though.
you're
Yeah.
like,
No, it's just
yes,
really
sign
cute.
me up.
So I think for me, one of the sweetest things and this is like it's not like what you would think, but like we were just in the kitchen talking, and I was telling him about something that I had experienced, like a shitty situation I had been in, and he like stopped, walked around the counter, and just like hugged me, and he's like, "I'm so sorry that happened to you," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I didn't even like realize it was that bad. And he like stopped and was like, "I'm sorry that you experienced that." And it was just like that has stuck with me. That moment.
Yeah,
He's done a lot of
that
other
is
very
sweet.
sweet things too. But like that moment,
Right.
like, yeah. All right, Tia, so we're gonna pause for a second. I need to plug in. Do you have an extension cord?
Yeah.
Can you get it? And then because the plug's over there, but I don't think it's gonna reach over here. I have 19%.
Oh no.
Yeah. The plug doesn't reach over here, so I charged it, but I think doing the video makes it drain faster. I love this so much.
Oh
Tell me
my
all the
god.
reasons you like me.
This is.
Validate me. He's
Are
going
you gonna
upstairs.
like rip his clothes off when you're done with this?
That already happened, but probably those.
I mean,
prior-
again, hmm,
Yeah, probably.
before, after, take a break, again.
He hasn't been feeling good, so it had been a couple weeks. So like, feeling better today. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody's feeling better now.
He has to say hi to the dog.
Of course,
She just sleeping?
acknowledge the dog.
She's my main bitch.
I was here first. That's what I told her. When she came in, I'm like, I was here first.
I told her today, it's like she's gonna kick you out of the bed, and she just.
I don't want to kick her out of the bed. I just like if something's happening, I need her to leave. That's all I'm saying.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
I don't care if she's there when we're sleeping, but other times she needs to go.
Yeah, it's a little weird having the dog around.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do
Okay,
that.
so we're back.
Hello, yes, we are back. Okay, so is all this weird talking about your guys' dating history with each other? Has this been, you know,
I mean, that's one of the nice things.
awkward?
We could talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's not weird because that's how we started. Like that conversation. Well, we started with me going, he's like, "How was your day?" And I said, "I just got dumped." Let me tell you everything that happened and why I'm so sad. And like, so
Right.
I was just like, it started right off the bat. I'm like, let me tell you, let me overshare from the first moment we were interacting with each other. And he was like, yeah, cool. And so we've always overshared with each other.
I think it's important to talk about the past, and you can't
That
treat it like
part.
anything but the past. And I've had people, that have always had issues with my relationship with my ex-wife. I don't know what it is. I brought up my relationship with my ex-wife. It was just automatically like, wait, what?
I think it's also a security thing. Like, if you're insecure, like, I'm not. Tia, are you here? Because you have not moved. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Just making
hi.
sure.
I actually froze. She either froze or put her to sleep.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it has to do with like your self-worth and your security with yourself, and like I'm insecure in a lot of things, but not when it comes to like I've never been cheated on, so that might be why. But like I know what I bring to the table, and I know like I'm not threatened by a lot. And that probably sounds a little conceited, but like I know who I am. And if someone wants to jeopardize that with someone else, and me being jealous isn't going to change that. Me being
Right.
like no, you can't talk to this person, you can't. That's not going to change what a person's going to do. They're going to do it whether they're going to talk about it or not, or you know what I mean? Like the way you act, the way you treat like that person when it comes to that, and being super jealous and super like jumping to conclusions about things, that's not going to change someone from doing something if they're going to do it. So for
For
me, I'm
sure.
like, I mean, in general, hopefully trust the people that I give my heart to. And so far, I've been right in it where it hasn't happened to me. So
Right.
don't.
I don't think. I think it comes down to connection, and are you? I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about connection, but you also have to be physically. There's, I look at it. There's a physical connection, an emotional connection, and a sexual connection. When you have all three, it's good, and you need all three.
That part. Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, we're like, oh, it
Agreed.
doesn't matter what they look like. Yes, it does, because if you're not physically attracted to them, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's true. Like
Yeah.
White dude's a beard,
Okay.
right?
they didn't all have
Wait,
beards,
I
but
was gonna say,
beard is a that's a that's a swipe right.
that's the
This is a
added
this is a
plus.
it started off as a spite beard. So I wasn't allowed to grow my facial hair out. Married, not I wasn't allowed, but she didn't like it, and so I I was like okay. And then as soon as we got divorced, it was like it's funny. She moved out like a week before COVID was official, right? So then COVID started, and then I have these pictures of like my beard is growing out big time. And I'm like, I love it. This is great. I have facial hair, and then I trimmed it. Like this is long for me. I like it trimmed, but and I like that's what I do. I go to the barber shop like every 3 weeks and get it trimmed and stuff. But I love it. Like I can't see myself without it. Even my
I
kids like it. Yeah.
I love a beard. Like you're not allowed to shave it. Like, not that I have can
But
say
I
that, but
grew a
yeah.
beard, so I looked like within 10 years of my age, because like I've always had a young face. So if I shave this, I'll look like I'm mid 30s.
No, I
A
want to see
beard
pictures of you
does it
without
for
the
me.
beard, but don't take the beard off. Maybe
No,
we
don't
can
take
do
it
like
off.
an
We'll
erase
find a picture of
thing.
you without it. You have something on your Facebook.
Right.
But no, I'm a beard does
Your
it for
team
me.
beard.
Oh yes. Yes.
Team beard.
Which is
Hashtag team
funny
beard.
that like that's something he did because he was like finally had like the freedom to do so, and I was like I'm like, "Hey, hi, you have a beard."
Beard, 6'1"
Hi.
and tattoo.
Yes.
She was fucking
I'm
smitten.
done. I'm like, "That's it. That's my check check check."
Don't ever get rid of the beard. Don't think about it.
No.
If you think about it, want to do it, suppress it.
Oh no, no. I just like I like it thinner
It does
around.
look good cleaned up, but this is doing it for me too. So,
You're like, yes. Okay, let's keep moving, moseying along to get you two lovebirds off of here. What's a dating story that has shocked you both? Or is there one?
a dating story that shocked us about each other?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think your Christmas guy. I've never seen someone go so fast into a relationship and then pull back. Like, I mean, talk about like within the first week, he's introducing her to his family at Christmas. Like, that's a lot. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, like, oh shit, this is not what I want, and just like run so far away. That's crazy. I don't know if I could ever do like that's a lot. Like the first week, like that was like, whoa.
So part of it is that he lives with his son, who is married and has 2 kids, and so his grandkids are there too. So I met them from the start because they're just there. But meeting the whole family was a lot, and I met
Not only that, the whole family.
his
And
first wife.
He dropped the L bomb on her quickly,
He did.
and then all of a sudden just like ran away. And I'm like, more power. I love, I thank him every day. Like I might maybe send him flowers, like thank you, But like that's just too much. I don't know if it's like but see, he was older than me, so that makes
Yeah.
I can't.
That's the thing. Okay, he was 52. His birthday's actually tomorrow, so he'll be 53. But like, I only know that because Facebook told me. I don't track him like that. Facebook just told me.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I send him a card? Oh, that'd be so.
Should I? No.
No.
No, I'm not going to. But
that wouldn't bother me.
no. See, and that's the thing I like about him, because I am friends with a lot of people. Like, we're still kind of friends. Like, not really. It's tapered off a lot. But in the beginning, we tried to stay friends, because that's something I regret with him, is that I regret taking the steps to move into a relationship with him, because we had a really good friendship. And, like, the friendship was so much better than all the other bullshit we went through. So, like, I wish I had never actually dated him, but I'm glad I did, because then I met Max. But, yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that.
We don't either.
I had a direction and I
I hate
lost
when
it.
that happens.
That should be a laughing?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's funny.
Over my wine.
It's gold, Jerry. It's gold. I have to do my Seinfeld reference.
You have to.
Every podcast, I do a Seinfeld reference.
I'm going to put together a montage of all the times he references Seinfeld, because it's so often.
So now, like the summer of George, it's gonna be the summer of Max. There we go.
Summer of Christina.
Max.
I wish I knew where I was going, because I was heading in a direction and I had a point.
It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
I hate that. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, interrupt, because we'll come right back to it.
Okay.
Let's get to some really fun questions. Did either of you send each other any dick, tits, balls, ass, vulva pics?
I don't do dick pics because I'm like 40 and older, so I don't think. But that's not true.
That doesn't stop him.
Yeah, that doesn't. She sent me some nice pics, but she asked first, like, you don't.
Ooh.
Like, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she always sends me these like last night. She sends me these pictures of, like, she's like seducing me in front of like the camera. And then she puts the glasses on, and she knows the glasses drive me crazy. So
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I've done it. I'm not shy in front of a camera, but there's no vulva pictures. Those don't exist of me.
But you guys are in a relationship, so
Yeah, no, I'm not taking vulva pictures. I don't even like.
no,
You said, how
I
do you
mean not
feel?
vulva pictures, but like what you guys are doing now, sending each other pictures, cutesy pictures,
Yeah.
seducing. You guys are in a relationship, but you weren't doing this in your guys' dating phase.
Yeah, I did it pretty early
Right.
on.
Oh, and still continue to do it. I love it.
Yeah. Yep.
Work. Okay, so then how long did you guys wait to sleep with each other?
Do you remember? I remember, but because I don't forget anything. But do you remember?
So our first official date was just lunch. So obviously, then I decided to
Oh,
take
you guys slept together on your guys' first date?
No.
No.
Oh.
Then the second date was at the Ramses.
Yeah, Ramsey's kitchen.
And so I parked in your driveway and we made out a lot. And then
Ooh.
probably that's so. The next time I saw you, I think we probably slept together.
Yeah. So it was the third date, and he had me.
Valentine's Day, right?
No,
No?
Valentine's Day was later.
Oh, was it?
This is early
Yeah,
January.
February.
Yeah. So it was that I think we just did sushi, or we did Mexican. I don't know. But I came over and he ordered takeout, and I think we both knew where it was gonna go because like it would have gone there after the second date had we not been in a car in front of my dad's house. So yeah,
That would make sense. But that's all foreplay that leads
yeah.
up to the grand finale.
But yeah, it had I had my own place that second date, it would have absolutely happened.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so who is more dominant? Who's more submissive?
Hmm, that's a good question.
See, I like a dominant woman, and women. I should say woman. I I'm so like when it comes to it, like I like so I find it sexy if a woman is dominant, like I because it's something you don't experience a lot, and I like it. I I understand what women want, and so I'll play to it, but like I love a dominant woman. I mean, I think that's sexier than hell.
I don't know
So
that I do that often, but I let him know that I want to a lot. It's just honestly, this is the thing. So like I'm in my early 40s.
What's the thing?
I'm in my early 40s, so my sex drive matches that of like an 18-year-old boy. So it's just like 20 this poor guy needs to like hydrate and like it's just like all the time I'm like, "Hey,
I want
hey,
it all the
hey."
time.
Like I'm sending him like
I might not be able, I try. I mean, like I said, but see, here's the thing too. So, like my 20s, I wasn't having sex. I don't know. I like the joke was I was telling my buddy was like, I've gotten more play in my 40s than my 20s. So I don't know what that's saying. But I feel like I have kind of like,
The saying is keep living, y'all. You don't
yeah,
know what's gonna be. Keep living. Yes.
yeah. So I don't
I'm having
know.
fun. I enjoy it. I mean, I,
That's good.
but it's like, I mean, most guys, we overthink the bedroom. And that's the thing. And I wish, and like, this is like the platform, like, because all guys do this. And it's just like, and that's where the communicate, like, you got to talk to them.
Yeah. And I think that's something we did from the start.
Yeah.
Because like
Like, I'm going to disappoint you. Just be ready. Just be ready.
I'm not kidding.
Wait, why are you saying you're disappointed?
And he doesn't. But like
Because
this,
it's, I don't know. It's in my head. It's in my head.
there was a time, and I can edit this out if you don't want me to share this. But there was a time, like I've never laughed during sex before, but like he's like, we're about to like it's about to happen, and he's like, this is about to be the best 10 seconds of your life. And I just start laughing, and I'm like, I've never gone into sex laughing like that. It was
Yes.
longer than 10 seconds.
I know,
Yeah.
but you gotta like, put it down like, oh, I can't do anything. And it's like, oh, wait. Like 5 minutes later, oh my God, he's amazing. You gotta,
Yeah, so I've
10
never laughed during
seconds.
sex before, and I wasn't laughing at him. I was laughing at
Under-deliver,
No,
him.
you're
over
just
power.
laughing. Yes. If you
Yeah,
can laugh during sex and still keep going,
I mean
that's
that I was like, did he just say that? But it was like it was so funny. But funny, I love a funny guy. Like that's such a turn on for me. So that worked. It worked for me.
and
We all
you're
like
like,
guys
now
overthink
let's
it. So
really
we
go.
overthink it. We overthink sex and we overthink everything else. And that's the thing. It's like because you're just like, oh, but
Well, and I think that's like how it was in the beginning. Like the first few times he was nervous and he didn't have a confidence. And I think like we just talked about it and we're open about it, and it's pretty damn good. I don't know. I'm I'm smiling.
so take this for a grain of salt. So I always would tell people, to guys, sex is like pizza. Do you ever hear someone complain about bad pizza? No. Does that make sense or no?
I don't like Chicago deep dish
No
pizza.
one does.
So
No, but I'll get on the whole pizza rant.
Yeah.
So like Chicago, like deep dish is not
Oh,
like
here we go.
deep dish is not like Chicago people don't eat deep dish.
No, we eat deep dish when people are coming to visit Chicago.
When friends come in,
Yeah.
when friends come
Really?
into town, you
Yeah, we
order
don't have
deep
that.
dish. When a company has like a pizza thing, they order deep dish. I never order deep dish.
Mm-mm.
It's rarity. Like it's thin
Hate
crust
deep
or double
dish.
dough or whatever, and this whole thing. Everyone's like, "Well, Chicago's so fun," but that pizza's overrated. But the deep dish is not for us. Like if you
Mm-mm.
come to Chicago, we will. I'm like, there's people love Pequods, and now with the bear, it got huge. But there's like 4 or 5. Like to me, there's like 4 or 5 pizza joints. Like it's just pure Chicago pizza, and that's the
Like
thing.
tavern style. Like
Yeah,
it's like a thinner pizza cut into squares. It's not deep
yeah.
dish.
Where Pete? See that?
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna go talk to Stacy because I know Chicago's her stomping ground too, and I can't remember the pizza place we went to, but I needed to try a Chicago deep dish, and I was like, I hate it. I hate it in Chicago. I
No,
hate it in California.
it's
I hate
too
it in
much.
Florida.
It's
I
a
don't
lot.
care. I hate
I
it.
guess
It's
deep
a
dish is better
lasagna with a
in the
crust. I
yeah
hate
in the
it.
winter.
Yeah.
And me being from like outside, well, I'm technically not from the. We say we're all from Detroit, but Detroit style pizza is blowing up. Like I can't get over like the last 10 years, like Detroit, and they're making it out here, and it's freaking awesome. Like remember the one we had with
That
the
was like some of the best pizza I've ever had. I shouldn't say that. Like I'm gonna get canceled in Chicago. But we got this
No, now
pizza.
I'm coming with y'all to eat
Yeah.
pizza.
What was on this
Mm,
pizza?
so
because
it was
Detroit style pizza
it
is
was Pizza
good.
Bella, and they have this Detroit style, and it had basil, ricotta, and a little bit of was it spinach? I don't know. It was garlic, basil, and ricotta. And I'm not a big ricotta. Like even being Italian, like when I was in New Jersey, they overdo everything with ricotta cheese. So I was like, eh. But they put just a little dollop of ricotta on the pizza, and it's unreal. It's
It was I will say I took pictures. I'll send you
yeah,
pictures. It was
it's
so
so
Oh,
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I left
love
the
it.
next day and I didn't come back for like several days. So like I was like, shit, I should have took a piece with me.
So the big one, like the big pizza place out here that got like number, it's like people say hands on it's the best pizza in Chicago is Pequods, and that got that's like
I've
the
never been
famous
there.
pizza. But I have people coming to like we got to go to Pequods. I'm like, there's one in the city and then there's one in the suburbs, but the suburbs is the original one and that's the best one.
So you start talking about sex and then you bring up pizza and
Yep, that's great. But that's the thing is like no guy
I
complains about
mean,
bad
what do
pizza.
you eat after sex?
we just go to sleep. We
Pizza.
don't really eat.
Maybe I might sneak
Ooh,
away for like an oatmeal pie.
wait a
Do you
minute.
really?
I'll get a
A
snack
good
if I'm hungry.
late night session. Okay, you're
I
gonna have
didn't
to
know
edit
you
this one
were out
out.
for a snack. That's amazing.
Maybe a
I
piece
was
of
gonna say
cheese.
a snack.
We haven't had sex.
I know. I was saying we should do it for the wedding, but then he got sick. Oh, that's a thing that we should probably address. So we didn't do the podcast last week because he had shingles, but you're better now,
Yeah,
kind of.
You are better.
kind of.
Like you still have the headache and
Oh,
stuff. You're still a little like you're not 100%, right?
I'm like
Oh my
80,
God.
82. Just off
Okay,
topic,
I'm gonna
but
give you.
I learned the hard way. I had a buddy. We were at a 4th of July party, and he brought brownies, and so we eat a brownie. I'm like, and I'm
Mm,
impatient, so I'm like nothing's happening. So I start drinking, taking shots, whatever.
typical,
And then
typical story.
like
Yeah.
half hour, 45 minutes later, I pound another brownie. Within 2 hours, and I don't remember this. So I was told
You wouldn't.
that I'm going into every person's like backyard if they had a pool. By the way, I'm butt naked, jumping in people's pool, and
Of
then
course
I'm
you are.
dragging like lawn chairs with me. So at the end of the night, there was like maybe like 8 or 9 lawn chairs in my buddy's yard. He's like, you were butt ass naked, and you had been in like everyone's pool.
That's my man.
Fantastic, right?
Right.
What's
That's a
that?
good
I know that
brownie.
means that's my man. That's your
That's my
man.
man. Yeah,
That's
no,
your.
I was telling him last night about the story where I went to Vegas and I had an edible and I'm like, I don't feel anything. So I took another whole piece, which is a
Of course
mistake.
you do.
And then I thought it'd be so funny to go on the high roller high. It was not. It was terrible. I sat quietly and didn't talk to anyone and was freaking out because I'm not afraid of heights. I am when I'm that high. I'm like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Of course. When you're
I
that
think
high and up high, no thank you.
you'd be
Pro-
different with me.
Probably.
What's next for you guys? What's next for you two? Are you guys playing the long game? Just seeing what happens?
I mean, I think for me at least, like this is something, and it's a like I don't know. I see this being a long term thing. Um,
Hmm,
um,
fancy that.
yeah, but I think I am getting because I do this thing, and I'm sure you've noticed. I do this thing where I'm like, okay, what's next? Like, what are we
Hmm.
get? What's gonna happen next? And what milestone are we gonna reach next? And I've realized like that's just chill the fuck out and take a step back and just like we're like still in the honeymoon phase and like I'm just enjoying that and like
Just
not.
enjoy all this. I mean,
Yes, I do. Trust me. But
All
um,
of that.
yeah, I can't even talk about it. Like I'm so attracted to this man. It's like I can't. Like I can't.
and I don't
You're
like personally.
so
I don't see it.
you're so cute. Like I
Like I'm
can't.
just like she. I'm like, all right.
I'm gonna get distracted. I can't even talk about it. But like I'm getting better at just being like, let's just like enjoy where we're at. And I mean, there's smaller steps that I'm like hoping we take soon. Like I don't ever want to force him to introduce me to his kids, but I would like to meet them at some point, you know?
Yeah.
But that's also something I've always been like, I don't want to force that. I want him to be ready to do that because he's their dad. I don't want to, like, that's not my call.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but like, just like baby steps like that. That's where I'm at. But like, I'm getting better at being like, I'm gonna try to be in the present instead of trying to look into the future.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
I don't know if I have a. I think for me, I just want to. So we kind of joke about the summer, but the summer I have a lot more available time. So like one thing with me and my ex-wife, so she's a teacher, so she's off during the summers and I'm not. So she has the kids during the week. So and then we I mean they're signed up for camps galore, so another like 5 grand towards camps, but so I have 'em every other weekend, but I mean it changes and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to the summer and see what happens. I mean, I don't this is the longest I've ever been in a relationship, but it doesn't scare me at
Other than
all.
your marriage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
other than my marriage. Now I tell her like
Right.
I have walls and I have walls and they're gonna come up, and it's just like yeah, and that's why I tell her just call me out on them. Um, the kid thing, like I'm close to it. The problem is my one of the relationships I had before I jumped too soon into the kid thing. Not that I'm not pushing it to the side. I wanted to wait till the summer, and so I'm gonna
Yeah.
find a good time. I mean, the kids know about her, like they know, cause like oh, cause oh, they know that she brings candy and all this other stuff and does stuff, and so I think I think they're interested and they want to meet her. And so I just want to make it. I don't know, try to make it like too perfect, but I just want to do something that's gonna work.
Yeah, for
Yeah, and
sure.
like
I'm not worried that like it's not gonna work or anything. Like I'm confident. Like this, I think this has a chance to like be something special, but I don't want to
Hmm.
jinx it.
yeah.
And it's like so. I always have this thing like this mantra, like take a day at a time, day at a time. But you know, and we're just learning about each other too. And like even though you're this and that and this, it's just like it's good. You know.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think we haven't like we haven't had a fight yet, which is the weirdest thing to me. And so
Mm.
we've had like a couple things we disagreed on, but they're dumb things. Like, have you seen The Bear? No.
No.
Okay. There's an actress on The Bear. There's a role. Okay. No. See, I'm telling you. She is phenomenal. I love her character. I love her role. I love everything about her. And he's like, eh. And so this is the thing we've disagreed on as a TV show. And then the front room thing. So I don't know. Ask Stacy about this. The room in the front of the house where you generally don't have a TV is
Living room.
It's a more formal space. I'm like, what do you call it? And he's like, it's a living room. That's what the whole rest of the country calls it. In Chicago and the suburbs, because I've called it this my whole life and I grew up in the suburbs, it's the front room. And in some areas, he's fading. Some areas, like in the south side and some certain areas of Chicago, it's the French room. I can't do that because I'm from the suburbs, and that's
The
just
French room?
French.
Right.
French?
French.
French? Like French?
French.
French? Not French, but
No.
French?
French. Yeah.
French?
So I can't do that because I'm from the suburbs. So I'm like, I'm not such a poser thing to do. So I said, like,
Right.
French room is stupid. He goes, front room is stupid. And I went,
Yeah.
do I have to break?
Fucking dining room.
Do I have to break up with him?
See, that's their. Do I have to break up with him over the French room? You know?
But that's it. Like, that's the disagreements we've had. That's it. It's weird. Like, I'm waiting for it.
That means it's healthy. It's good. So now that you guys have told everybody you guys are together, what's next for the podcast?
We're just gonna keep going the way we have been. I think it's just gonna make editing easier for me because, like, there are times where I'm like, man, I gotta cut that out. Shit, I gotta cut that out too. And so now I can just leave it and just be like, oh yeah, we are cute. Sometimes we're adorable, and sometimes we say cute things to each other, and I can leave it in.
You guys are cute and doing this thing together. So you don't think like content or anything will change? Like you don't think people will just be like,
No.
oh, there's no more dick pic conversations because you guys are dicked up and pussed up or whatever. I don't know.
No, I
But
think
there's still a need. There's still a platform to talk about dating,
Agreed.
and and it can almost
Agreed.
be like hey, look at us. Like we weren't expecting this, and
mm-mm.
it just happened, and
Yeah.
like look at us.
Honestly, like, just from the first day that I met
Agreed.
him, I didn't know what it was going to turn into. Like, I at that point I was a little bit jaded, so I'm like, all right, this might go for a few weeks or something. We'll see what happens. But I'm like, and that's why I said, like, if this doesn't work out, at least we have good content. I mean, if it's respectful and we communicate, then we can continue to do
For
the
sure.
podcast. Again, that was very early on before it became like more of a thing that it is now. But yeah, I don't think it's going to change much because it's kind of, we've been together this whole time.
And now look at you guys. Still doing this, still holding on strong. I love it. Okay, I know I said that was the last question, but I have one more follow-up to end this. What now that you are on the other side, Christina, of this divorcee side thing, what advice would you both give to somebody who is considering divorce or just starting to go through divorce? Like, what advice would you give to people who are on
I
that
think it's
journey or thinking
rare
about
for
going on the journey?
yeah. I think it's rare for people to be where I was at when I left.
Hmm.
I think I had a lot of time. I went through a lot of therapy before I left. And so, like, I had a lot of time to heal and grieve and go through all that while I was still in the relationship. But I think taking that time to, like, find out who you are and what you want and, like, find, like, peace with where you're at before you start dating is super important because it looks like I just dove right in. And I did technically, but I didn't. I did a lot of work leading up to that. Like, I mean, I was still in my relationship, but, like, I had done a lot of work through therapy and through, like, the help of my friends and stuff to find who I was before I started trying to find someone else. Because, like, if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want. And that's the thing I think I've been pretty consistent with. I know what I want. And I haven't been in a situation where, it's this guy. But I haven't been in a situation where people were like, well, she doesn't know what she wants. Yeah, I do. I know what I want. And I think that's because I did the work first.
So this reminds me of like when me and my ex-wife had that discussion. So I feel you have to. I mean, when you're in a bad patch of your marriage. I mean, the question I posed to her was, when was the last time you were happy? And
Mm.
the answer she gave me like blew me away. I was like, what? And I think you have to realize that, like, can you fix it? Is this something that's fixable?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to come to the conclusion that it's not fixable, and what's in the best interest. And so the problem with me and my ex-wife, we had young kids, and we put so much of our effort into the kids, and we just forgot about us, and it got to a point where there was no return. And we
Mm.
finally had to like come to the realization, not that it's a bad thing, but put the kids to the side. Like, you have to concentrate on your happiness, because if you're not happy, so if I would have continued in the marriage, we would have been miserable, but the kids would have been happy. And it's like, okay, that's great, but no, like, what about you? You have to be happy, and
That
someone's
part.
got to make that effort and that step. Like, listen, this is not working. Like, if we, just because you get divorced doesn't mean like it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Like
Hmm.
like for me and my ex-wife, like I think it's been a blessing. Like we're still able to parent our kids, and we're still able to have a good relationship, but we're just not in love with each other, and we're going our separate ways. And I think that's very important. And I think a lot of people don't, like, financially too. They don't get divorced because it's a business opportunity. It's like, what can we, and sometimes you have to think about it, like, and you have to do, like, is it worth it? Okay, with us married, we make this much, we're very comfortable. With us being divorced, and you have to kind of weigh it, and it is a business,
Yeah.
it is a business decision too, but you have to ultimately say, like, am I happy? Can I be happy? And
Yeah.
like, I that's what I came to. We both came to the realization, like, we're not happy, and we deserve to be happy, and that's an important thing. And then plus going through it, like everyone always talks about, when you get separated or you get divorced, like, some people say, "Oh, you got to give yourself some time to heal." Some people dive in. I ultimately, like, realize, like, you have to love yourself first
Yep.
before you can start loving anyone else.
Yep.
If you don't love yourself, and I know it's such a cliche thing,
How the
It's so
hell
true
you gonna
though.
but if
love
you don't love
somebody else?
yourself,
Yep.
you're never gonna have a successful relationship. And probably like the first year, even though I jumped in and I was doing all this stuff, I was loving it. And then I kind of had to step back, and like I took like I think I took like 6 or 7 months off of like just online dating and everything, and I just focused on myself and kind of like did that, and I think that really helped. And I was like finally ready. It's like, okay, I'm ready to try it. And it like life happened. Like, life is crazy. Like, it's like when you're like when you try so hard on these dating apps, and they just like throw shit in your face, and it's like when you least expect it, like, things happen. And so I think that's what you have to do. But I
And
mean,
it's like,
I think
hello.
you have to have a harsh reality. Like, sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's tough to make tough decisions. But I mean, you have to
Yeah.
stare yourself in the mirror and be like, is this the life I want the rest of my life? And I realized, like, I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. And it wasn't so much her. It was all of it. It was just everything we put into this, and it was just like, this is not working. And I looked at it as, ultimately, as like, I want my kids to have a positive relationship on love. And if they're in a house where mom and dad just at each other's throats, that's what they're gonna think love is and what relationships are. But if they see us separate but grow and build everything, and have a positive relationship, they're gonna be like, yeah, yeah, you can do that. So I don't know.
That's a big thing
Yeah.
for me too. That's something that I wish I had done, honestly, because I feel like while a lot of people assume staying together is better for the kids, it's not. I think a lot of times staying together in an unhealthy relationship is toxic for the kids and it's hard for them.
Yeah.
And like you said, they don't grow up seeing a healthy, happy relationship if you're not in one. And so like I wish like now I wish my kids were still kids and they could see me with him because like I mean, I don't people who have or in my daily life have said how much happier I am, how much and I'm not
Mm.
comparing this to anyone, but just in general. Like in general,
Yeah,
I
for
am
sure.
much happier just because he like he knows like what I need already, which is crazy because it's been 4 months, but like he knows how to make me smile, and he like
Yeah.
listens to me and cares and asks me how I am. And it's crazy that that's what like I'm like what.
But even in like so the perception with the
No, it's
divorce.
important.
So I thought like the younger the kids, the worse it would be. But it's actually the older the kids, the worse it is.
Yeah.
And I know, like I'm like what? And I never understood it, but I see it up close now. Because my kids were pretty young, and they're. I mean, they still come to me like, oh, Dad, I miss the good old day. Like my son's always reminiscing, like when he was 3 and 4, like, Dad, I miss when I was 3 and 4, and I'm like, yeah,
Same.
okay, yeah, but I mean, in reality, you sometimes have to make the tough choices, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
is this what I want the rest of my life? Or like like we both realized like we deserve to be happy. I'm like, I want to be loved again. Like that was my whole thing. It's like I want someone to come
Yeah.
home and just be like, and I have this whole thing. And I always have told her like when I see like my aunts and uncles and relatives and parents, the older they get, they sit on like opposite ends of couches. I never want that. Like I never want her apart from me. Like I never want her to be
Yeah.
on the other side of the couch. I want her to have her
Yep.
legs over me, rubbing like
Yep.
that's what I want. I don't
Hmm.
care if I'm like 80. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yes.
That affection. That
Yeah.
like hey, look, I care about this person.
And that's a thing. Like I'm a lot because like I cannot like stop touching this man, and he loves it. It
I
works out.
love like you
Yeah.
gonna rub
Yeah.
me? Fine, rub my feet,
Like
rub my back,
I'm.
rub my
So
It's
like
happened
physical
during the
touch
podcast before.
is both. Yeah, physical touch is
Yeah.
what you both like and want. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because had I taken the love languages test like 5 years ago, it wasn't physical touch. But now, physical touch and words of affirmation, which is no surprise to anyone who knows me, those are my top two. Like they're tied. Yours is
Same.
physical touch in general,
I like
right?
words of affirmation
Yeah.
though. I
Well,
mean,
you get those from your
But I
time.
would also argue acts of service because you like it when she's cooked
Mhm.
dinner, she has
yeah.
things ready,
Mhm.
she takes that initiative. You
I
also
like
like,
all. I tell people I like all of them.
Yeah.
hmm
Like my answer is all of them. I mean, I don't need gifts, but like if someone's gonna give me a gift, and she'll give me like little gifts, like here and there, and it's just like it's so sweet though. It's like shit. She's. See, I feel like I've gone
she
backwards.
pays
Like I used to go all in
attention.
these relationships, and I would do gifts and flowers, and I feel like I've only gotten her flowers twice, and I feel bad. Like I'm like,
I've gotten flowers twice in 4 months. I'm doing okay. Like it's fine.
and you got a bouquet, but that was nothing with me. But
What? Oh yeah, I
Ooh.
did. Yeah, I caught the bouquet. So I don't know. That was before we launched the episode, but that's So do I tell you this story? This might be when we break up.
Dun dun
So
dun.
I have to tell it now. So what happened was I am talking to the bride. I'm like, throw it to me. And she's like, I got you. She didn't really throw it to me. I mean, she said she was like aiming like my direction, but there was a lot of people. This thing goes flying through, and I need to see video of this because I haven't seen it yet. I'm just like, I fucking grab that thing. I like, mine. And so then, this is the part I haven't
You,
told you. I'm telling everyone, I'm like, I'm getting married. I was very drunk too. I'm just gonna put that out there. I was not sober. I'm like, I'm getting married. And so I'm telling people, I'm like, what are you doing in 2026? So
oh,
not, this is not a thing that's actually happening, but this is what my drunk self. See, this is it. This is the end. This is when he pieces out.
no, I would have said about 2030.
Okay, but like so there's a
Yeah, I should
2030.
have said that.
No.
if he's saying a date, that means it can be
So
sooner.
you're
You can
saying there's
negotiate
a
that.
chance?
There's a chance. I
There's
am
a
getting
chance.
married. No,
Somebody
but I
insert the clip here where I asked you guys, do you guys see yourself getting married again? And he's like, oh well, maybe
yeah,
put it right there. Right
it's up a destination
there.
wedding. Yeah, yeah.
Destination wedding.
So I was telling people I'm having a destination wedding, and I was inviting every single person I talked to that night. Again, I was drunk. I don't really think we're getting married.
I don't know.
Dun
Oh,
dun
so you can run.
dun.
My friends are like, Christina, don't tell him that. Or yeah, they're like, don't tell Max what you just said to us.
May 23rd, 2025. I want to have a year. I want to have a reunion episode, and I want to talk about where we're at, what we're doing,
A
and
follow up.
a
Yeah,
follow up.
yeah,
One
we'll
year
do
from
that.
today.
Mm-hmm.
1 year from today, we're
What do you
we're
say? Is
gonna have
that
to
too
do
far in
that.
the future?
No, that sounds
It's
good.
not. We're
I
gonna make
realized
this
that
happen.
this weekend is the year anniversary for my car. I was like, holy
Oh,
shit.
congratulations to you and your car.
She's beautiful.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this was fantastic.
Oh, my car's beautiful too, you know.
Aww.
Oh, oh.
Okay.
Are you guys moving in with each other?
We haven't. Well, do you remember when you talked about it? It was after the Tristan episode. I don't think you remember. I think you were. We were like 2 bottles in.
Ah,
No, I don't know.
Yeah. He had said something like, "You should just live here," and I'm like, "You were drunk." So, um, that is the most we've talked about it. But I'm still at my dad's place. I'm start in the very early stages of looking for my own place. Um, it's not something we've discussed. I don't know that we're there yet. I think it's something that it's a little early on
Yeah.
for that.
have you ever lived by yourself?
Maybe. I mean, that's the goal.
No, have
No.
you ever lived by yourself, Christina?
You?
Oh, yeah.
Me? No.
I loved it.
I say
No one
you
to
should
talk
at
to,
least
no one to
one
bother
year,
you. Yeah.
1 year lease by yourself.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it because you get to do what you want, live how you want, be how you want. I think everybody should have that at least that
Yeah,
time
and
to themselves.
that was my thought because again, I think ahead to everything, and I'm trying to step back and not do that as much. But like my thought process is like I get my own place, I sign a year lease. As it gets towards the end of that lease, depending on where we're at, you know. This is our first time talking about this. It's right here live on this podcast.
Yes, I'm popping that cherry.
Yeah.
Ooh, how does it feel?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He's not really saying
It feels
words.
good.
Ooh.
I mean, it doesn't freak me out. Like,
No, because like you've even said the end goal would be to like live together at some point, right? Like
yeah,
And have a
we'll see.
destination
it's
wedding.
not going to be tomorrow.
No,
In a
Avi,
destination
you
wedding.
gotta take it slow.
Yeah.
Yes, we're taking it slow.
We're taking it slow. And I think that's
Take
something that
it
I've done with
slow.
him that I didn't do in other relationships. And he has been really good about like kind of reminding me of that and being like that one day at a time thing. And he's like, it's
Damn, slow down,
he
man.
doesn't do that. But like he is like very big on like not jumping into things too fast and like keeping my feet on the ground because my therapist even asked me, she's like, how do you keep your feet on the ground in this relationship, because I don't so often. I'm like, he makes me, like he forces me to, and it's like that's why this has worked so well for me.
That's good. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so excited to see what comes of Max and
me too.
Christina. I love
Me
it.
too.
I like to put names first.
It's only first because the podcast is your idea.
The first
And
of
older,
many.
Sure.
wiser.
Wiser. This might be our first
Ooh.
one.
Very wiser.
Very wiser.
It wasn't the wise women, it was the wise men.
Okay. All right then.
Now I sound like the kicker from the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's wrap this up now.
Women
And
just.
on that note, this
What's
has
the
been a
messed up thing about that? What's the messed up thing
fantastic.
about that? We talk about like women, like their life starts in the kitchen and at home. His mom is like a famous like scientists, and it's like, what the fuck? And then everyone's picking their sides and stuff. I'm like, oh, here we go again. I thought what he said was garbage, but
Oh, okay.
I know how to pick them.
I was waiting on that part. And on that
so
note,
on, on that note, so Tia, thank you so much for
that
joining
was
us.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I knew
thank
you
you
were
for
gonna
having me.
you're gonna.
Oh my God. I'm so
Ooh.
happy for you, Christina. Like, I am legit
Thank you.
happy for you. Like, this feels right. I'm excited to see what happens.
Hi guys, thank you for sticking with us through that extra long episode. Um, we were really excited to share the story about like how we met and where we're at. But the podcast will not be changing. We still have plenty of dating stories to share, and it is a dating podcast, and we are dating. So you're gonna get to hear a little bit about our experiences with each other, which we're excited to share. So next week we have Jared, not Jarrett, Jared, my friend that I also dated very briefly. So he's got some great stories, and we cannot wait for you to meet him. In the meantime, don't forget to um, rate, review, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social media sites. Follow us on Instagram at No Dick Pics Pod, everywhere else at No Dick Pics Pod. And you can email us at nodickpicspod@gmail.com if you need advice, if you want to join the podcast and tell a story. We'd love to hear from you. But until next time, we will talk to you later. Bye.